I think you're all sick of hearing me talk about how big crypto is going to be. You know it's going to be one of the most important stock orders ever. It's going to be doing this and that. You're probably looking at the whole thing around the gap and thinking, Nick, there has been no change at all since March. All coins are now worse off than they were in March. What the hell are you trying to do? Are you trying to sell us a used car or something else in this video? I want to talk about what's going on, and I also want to use words from players like Citi and the DTCC as an example. The buy is to definitely help. What's going on right now? That being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. Who are new to the channel? If you didn't already subscribe by the end of this movie, you should now. Let's take a quick trip back to July 2024, when this movie was first released due to subjective views and abuse. That's some hopium in this picture is the global head of the DTCC digital property, by the way. The DTCC is closing $3 quadrillion worth of stock deals in line with that parent will continue to grow and improve every single year. In the next year, people will be talking about reimagining the wiring of the financial infrastructure built on DLT. There should be a better digital global CSD framework around the arena so that things can flow in real time. This is especially important now that markets could start trading 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, it looks like it's getting some speed that we can move things around the arena at very high speed, so let's have hope for the plumbing. This is the DTCC telling you to pay attention. In the next year, we hope to rethink how the financial system built on DLT works. Some of the dates they give us are a little, off. The way I feel is that they must be a bit more rigid, but who knows? There's something going on behind closed doors that we no longer know about. This is one of the biggest companies out there that is doing a lot of business in stocks every year. Also, if we look at this breakdown from PwC called Navigating the Payments Matrix, Charting a Course Amid Evolution and Revolution Payments 2025 and beyond, one of the main points is that the number of cashless transactions will more than double by 2030, according to pages from this report. And that's just talking about the growth. Yeah, it's because of digital bills and bullets that things are going to stay warm the best. There is also one clear quote in this war of the rails behind the curtain payments that we should look at. Processing payments is also changing because payment methods are shifting from playing cards and cash to virtual wallets, and regulators are putting pressure on the business to improve or build up the domestic payment infrastructure. An endpoint there is a lot of pressure on the middle business of global card networks and card processes, which are often domiciled. To stay relevant, these companies have started to reposition themselves. It will become more and more important to outsource cloud and platform systems. For the next X number of years, 80, 100, whatever, there's a task that needs to be completed. I won't be able to see those well. You brought up the fact that the World Bank needs to fix its pipes as part of that change. You talked about this during the time left of your last meeting. How far away is it? How is the surgery going, AJ? I've become very good at using spanners and tools, and my plumbing skills have really improved. What I thought that flippant comment meant was that the bank has many numbers to it at the end of the day. How can we get the bank to work with us? I think getting the bank to work together in its own parts in a way that looks at a country through that view and uses it all is also important. We think about what would happen if one part of the financial institution built infrastructure at Ford to help with things like education, training, clean air and water, food, farming, and other similar things. That part of the financial institution would also work with the financial institution to make sure it could work with all of its now. The public sector doesn't just make jobs for itself, it also makes sure that small businesses, farmers, and bigger agencies can get the permits they need to do their jobs. When this happens, we have a virtual cycle. If you don't look for C-spin jobs and experience the impact that jobs have on young people and women, you start to see your job only as teaching weather or water. I think we're missing a chance for the sum of the elements to be bigger than just adding one to one. And I think that's what I was talking about when I talked about the second big part of the system. And I know we've made real progress. It used to take 19 months on average to get a mission from the community to the board for approval. Now it only takes 16 months, and I want it to be 12 by this time next year. We just finished projects in Africa and got them approved in healthcare in 5 countries in less than 100 days, and in 2 countries in just 30 days. We just gave the go-ahead for a correspondent banking task to be done in the Pacific Islands in less than 10 months for 7 countries. It's not easy anymore. It is possible to do. Because we also have a responsibility to ESF, it gets complicated. Part of that means having the discipline to figure out which tasks are more dangerous for ESF than others and being careful to handle this, which is what's happening right now, right? The need to improve plumbing around the world is growing significantly. All of what we see in real time in AI, blockchain, digital wallets, the outbreak caused a big drop in the use of coins. All of this isn't always the best way to plan ahead. That being said, it is speeding up, especially since there are a lot of in the geopolitical struggle between BRICS and dollarization attempts. All of these things are meant to push for the same thing, changing the world's money system from paper to digital and from smoke dog to digital. The plumbing of payments is also changing. The promise of blockchain generation to greatly improve the plumbing of money flows is becoming more and more common. Savings that can be traded, tokenized payments in the normal economic system, plumbing added to the Fed North America is a great place to start for new ideas, from Main Street to Wall Street and everywhere in between. From Main Street to Wall Street, the promise of blockchain generation to greatly improve the plumbing of economic flows that big institutions depend on is becoming better known. This is where we really see demographic and technological benefits. 99% of moving solid coins are tied to the US dollar. 1441 trillion US dollars will move into high cost payments and wholesale finance in 2021. 88% of all foreign exchange transactions will be in USD, and these are the state business laws. A standard law fee is usually used to keep virtual property up to date. I just recently talked about this in a movie, and it should be done by about 202022. As we said before, a lot of these things are already in place. For example, the use of digital assets is growing quickly as more regular people join the market. This will only keep increasing tradable bank savings in traditional economies. This is tokenized deposits, like being able to connect to FedNow when it goes live. The part that tradable bank accounts play in FedNow, all of this is now being added in. The pipes are being changed. Everything is changing around our global economy, which is giving us a chance we will only get once in our lives. Do not believe what I say. Believe what Citi CEO Jane Fraser says. The change we are going through is one that will never happen again. The economic machine is being put back together around a virtual frame. Smart money isn't taking this moment lightly, and neither should you. This is a huge place to smoke a dog. Look at our long list of